All right. I just want to make a quick comment about the next generation consoles, the Xbox 720 and the Sony PS4. There's the idea that they're not going to be backwards compatible. So I basically want to let Microsoft and Sony know that they're making a big mistake. You're not doing the right thing by your customers. Most of these customers are very loyal. Whether you're a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy, whatever the case may be, you probably got a ton of games sitting there that you love to play. Now you want these new consoles and all the bells and whistles that come with them, as do I. The problem is I got like 100 PS3 games that I still enjoy playing, and I'm not going to be able to play them, or at least I don't think I am. That's what pretty much is the idea floating around. And I think it's a bad way to treat your customers to ask them, buy my new console and, buy all our nice new games that are coming down the line, but you're not going to be able to play the other games that you bought from us for our previous gen console. They're just gonna sit around collecting dust unless you want to have still your old console if it still works down the line, but you're not going to be able to use those old games. But we may offer them as downloadable content, and we'll happily take more of your money for a game you already own so that you can play it, but we're not going to let you use the old discs. That's a big mistake. It's a slap in the face to loyal customers, and there's no reason that you can't make these consoles backwards compatible. There's just no reason. Even if I had to pay a few extra dollars for a console with the capability, I'd be willing to do that if I knew I could still pop in my old PS3 discs and play. I don't want to pay, even if it's only $5 for an old PS3 game that I have sitting that's in perfectly good condition, sitting on in the corner somewhere collecting dust. I can't use it, but if I want to play one of those games, I gotta download it. If you offer it, there's just something wrong about that, and it's not a very good way to treat your customers. And I'm talking about Sony and Microsoft. I'm not getting into any fanboy wars or anything like that. I really don't care. Both consoles have very loyal customers who still are going to want to play a lot of these great games that have come out. And it takes a while for these new consoles to make anything really worthy of buying. So it just sucks. You guys should make sure you rethink this idea of not making these consoles backwards compatible. Even if you have to invest a little more and make the consoles slightly more expensive, people will gladly pay for that if it keeps them, it maintains that ability to play these other games that we have sitting around. We spent a lot of money. There have been millions of copies bought of all these games that people have sitting around. And if you don't make these consoles backwards compatible, they're going to end up in someone's attic. And a lot of these games, I wish I could still play. Unfortunately, I recently had to replace my old PS3 with another PS3, and I found out, lo and behold, not backwards compatible. The original PS3 I had was backwards compatible. It was one of the early models, and I still enjoyed playing. I loved playing Warriors, and the other day I wanted to play NASCAR Thunder 2003, which is for consoles. It's still the best game. I'm not gonna get all into that, but I'm not really happy with the recent games that have come out by Technics. And I said, you know what? That game was really kick ass. I'd like to play it. And I couldn't play it. And it sucks because it's sitting there. I stare at it every day, and it's perfectly a perfectly good copy, but I can't play it. It's uh, it's a shame, and I think you have a lot more to lose if you don't make these consoles backwards compatible. It's just not the right thing to do. These are people who have supported your companies by buying games for your previous gen consoles. The least you can do for these customers to show that you appreciate their business is to make these consoles backwards compatible. I don't see any reason that you can't do it. And to turn around and offer old games as downloadable content and recharge people more money for a game they have that's perfectly good and it's sitting in, right in front of them and collecting dust. But if I want to play it, I have to rebuy this game as downloadable content if you offer it. It's just not the right thing to do. So I hope you take this into consideration and do the right thing. All right.